Hey, this is Leo from Superfit. This blog was written last month, September 2020, and it's about coaching runners, a guide for personal trainers. So in this post, I explore the three main formats of paid run coaching and the benefits of each. In part 2, I'll share tips on what trainers can do to coach runners, but let's get started. It is officially fall, the season runners have been waiting for. Well, things are different this year. Last year, the New York City Marathon tallied 53,627 participants, amounting to the largest marathon ever. This year, all races are canceled. Big marathons like New York City, Boston, and Chicago repurposed their events as free and virtual. Of course, I wanted to cover this because these virtual marathons are the perfect intersections of fitness meeting technology. I wanted to figure out, do virtual marathons bring in more new runners interested in private run coaching? My hypothesis was it wouldn't. Sure, more people might look to step out and run after working from home all day, but I figured this pandemic would surely prevent folks from considering private coaching. In this post, I explore the three main formats of paid run coaching and the benefits of each. Before I get into that, I want to share some SEO stats and opportunities that coaches may find helpful for growing an audience of runners. And for those who don't know, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. That basically means figuring out strategies and legit tactics to game Google, Instagram, any popular search engine really, to have your content show up more to your audience and visitors. Anyways, running trends. People often search for, quote, marathon training, unquote, and, quote, half marathon training, unquote, in January. For marathon training plans, Ahrefs.com reported 30,000 searches this January and about 28,000 searches last January of 2019. This data is helpful to reinforce the need to run amid a pandemic, but the January trends are pretty obvious. New Year's resolutions bring the best efforts out of everyone, even if it's just for a month. January spikes apply to many other self-improvement products and services. Specifically for fitness, searches like gyms near me do not disappoint on Januaries. So I created a chart that showed that the term gyms near me basically plummeted around April this year. It went from the normal 450,000 searches per month in January, all the way down to 89,000 in April. Now contrast that with the search term at-home workouts, where in January this year, there were around 12,000 searches. In April 2020, it jumped to 66,000 searches, so about 5 times the January amount. It'll be interesting to see how much consumer interest shift from gym memberships to digital subscriptions this new year. With many gyms still closed or limited across the world, Peloton subscriptions and Apple Fitness Plus will take their place as the new fitness gifts and resolution goals for people this holiday season. How run coaching works. I reached out to several runners and coaches for their insights on running during the pandemic. And as someone distant from any running communities, I also did some research and sifted several run forums like Reddit. Here are the 3 most common paid running models I found. The first is private in-person coaching. That basically means direct feedback plus the workout programming that coaches offer. The second option is feedback coaching, which is entirely remote. All the feedback is given through FaceTime, emailing, texting, and it comes with workout programming. The third, which is the least lucrative and probably not meant to be a business at all, are paid running groups and teams. Private in-person run coaching. One-on-one in-person run coaching is pretty uncommon overall. This point was the most interesting to me because for personal trainers, this is the desired and default coaching format. New runners don't often look for private coaching services when starting out. In fact, runners in general don't sign up for in-person private coaching at all. With strength training, gyms would upsell personal training packages the moment you sign up. A free training session is usually bundled in a new membership to keep fresh leads coming in for trainers. In the runner's ecosystem though, running is free by default, and a change of clothes away from a workout around the block. Strength training can be free too, but in-house equipment and space justify the premium for brick-and-mortar gyms. However, in The Future of Fitness Studios, a blog post that I wrote a couple months ago, I explained how the power has shifted to at-home fitness as workout equipment sells out across the US. For fitness professionals, this is great news. The clear upside to this situation is that consumers have accepted fitness in physical isolation. Pre-COVID-19, I suspect many people justified gym memberships by the simple fact a gym possessed and maintained the physical equipment they'd never think to put in their own home. Short of a squat rack and indoor basketball court, it turns out that a set of home dumbbells, indoor bike, and a yoga mat can go a long way. Unfortunately, the power dynamics that gyms used to possess in personal training never existed with runners. A runner never paid to find space. It's all around us on trails, parks, blocks in our neighborhood. The bare essentials for runners are a path to run, shoes, and maybe a GPS-enabled watch or app to track activity. Because running space is not a cost, and running is not fixed to a location like a squat rack or a free weight gym section, one-on-one in-person coaching is generally inconvenient and less popular than group runs or remote coaching. Advanced athletes. There is a clear demographic that needs in-person run coaching, and that's at the advanced and professional level. Reaching a new personal record, time qualifying for a big marathon like Boston, New York City, that's when runners seek direct coaching. This is similar to college athletes working with private trainers in the off-season, or football players preparing for the NFL draft. It's also likely that advanced runners join a team with other competitive runners and coaches on hand. While in-person run coaching might be the less likely option for new runners, it does exist. After sifting running subreddits like r/advanced-running, the general feeling towards in-person run coaching is that it's not worth it unless you're advanced. The advice is typically find a free or low-cost running group, or two, find a free training plan and just start running. I think this is generally good advice for runners on Reddit, because users on Reddit typically ask and answer questions like one would with a friend. The advice is candid, strongly held, and against paying money unless absolutely necessary. Here are some responses to how many of you have a running coach? From Reddit user 1.
At your level, you would benefit most from just getting out the door and running as much as you can. Only once your performance starts plateauing could you benefit from some structure. But even then, chances are a mileage increase would get you improving again. From Reddit user 2.
To be frank, you're nowhere near close to a level that would warrant paying for a coach. I don't necessarily mean you aren't fast enough, although it is a factor. But I do think you haven't been training long enough. There are so many resources that you haven't even scratched the surface of yet. Buy some books, join a run club, do some research online, and just run more before hiring someone.
In reality, though, there will always be people who pay for premium services. I reached out to a New York City-based run coach, and his primary in-person clientele are runners just starting out or looking to improve their running form. Habit building is hard, and services that offer accountability, expertise, and guidance will still be around despite all things free on the internet. Feedback coaching, which is private remote coaching. Because live virtual Zoom classes are so prevalent now, it's important to distinguish private live remote coaching from private feedback coaching. Feedback coaching is nothing new. It's what coaching services look like in any other context besides fitness. Therapy, wellness coaching, and business mentoring all operate through scheduled calls and check-ins. In the running community, this is the most common form of run coaching for non-elite runners. Coaches provide value in two ways. One, weekly or monthly check-ins, and two, the monthly workout programming. Since running is active and on the go, a live call over Zoom won't work. Remote check-ins are primarily how a runner and coach communicate. Advantages of feedback coaching versus in-person coaching. Feedback coaching is superior in several ways. The obvious point is that a coach can work remotely. Checking in with 3 to 4 clients is far less taxing than 3 hour-long personal training sessions. The pay structure is different too. Remote feedback coaching is often billed as a monthly subscription, in which runners can schedule video check-ins 2 to 4 times per month, along with direct messaging access via text or email. Compare this to a live personal training session. Trainers are paid per session, and therefore their pay is directly proportional to the number of coached sessions. Because a coach's time and attention is limited, remote run coaching and live personal training are fundamentally different. The benefits of remote coaching: net pay per time spent coaching is higher, more flexible schedule, bigger clientele pool to pull testimonials from, and earning all the revenue. There's no split with gyms. After asking several run coaches, I gathered that the monthly rate for feedback coaching fall between $100 to $200. This range may look insignificant when compared to a private session at Equinox for, say, $140, but consider the math. For starters, gyms take 30 to 70% of a trainer's share, but you knew that. Let's compare two possible scenarios and break down earnings by time. Feedback run coaching, for an example, $200 per month. That's going to give you 2 monthly video check-ins, which is about an hour of time, so 2 30-minute sessions. Anytime text, emails during business hours, I guesstimated that as 1 hour, so 4 15-minute sessions. And a custom workout program with modifications, that's about maybe 2 hours of preparation and management. Now contrast that to live personal training sessions for $100 an hour. So 8 private coaching sessions, which is 8 hours total per month, 2 sessions per week, and a custom workout program with modifications. And for simplicity's sake, I made it 2 hours as well, just to match that up with the amount of time feedback run coaching takes for programming. So adjusted for the gym revenue share, which is about 50% of a cut, that's about $40 an hour. So this is obviously a rudimentary comparison. Many independent trainers don't pay a 50% cut, and I might be underestimating the effort to design run programs. The clear downside to feedback coaching, though, is that it only succeeds with a healthy supply of clients, say over 20 people. A larger clientele capacity, though, propels social media and client testimonials. The more people you have, the more testimonials you can get from them. If we assume remote running clients churn more than personal training clients, take for example seasonal change or runners only train for an upcoming race, run coaching will have more new clients than personal trainers have over time. Obviously, this could be a bad thing too, because new clients require additional upfront work for programming and getting to know new clients. More new clients mean more possible testimonials a coach can ask clients to post on Google Business, Instagram Stories, and Facebook page reviews. As far as website algorithms can tell, a positive review from a 2-month-long client is the same as a review from a 2-year-long client. So that is to say that it doesn't matter who your clients are in the eyes of Google. You can have a brand new client that gave you a 5-star review the day you met them, and that is going to be weighed the same as a client that's been around for 2 years and finally decided to give you a good review. So, moving on, paid running groups and teams. Lastly, I mentioned earlier that advanced runners often benefit from joining a running club or team. The coaches are often runners themselves, and running in groups add live accountability, support, and competitive spirit. Most running groups are free, but there are paid ones too, like the Dashing Whippets in New York City. Paid run clubs typically charge less than $50 per year, which cover costs like t-shirts, indoor track fees, and occasional group outings. Of all options, I hypothesize that running groups offered the least opportunity for upselling personal training services. Though after speaking with a friend in touch with the Dashing Whippets, there are in fact several runners who pay for private coaching on top of running with the Whippets group. In general though, I still suspect runners in less advanced running groups to find the coaching and workouts provided by their yearly membership as sufficient enough. Part 2. In my next post, I'll dive into some SEO analytics for running demand, post-COVID-19 lockdowns, and some opportunities that personal trainers should look into if they plan on working with runners. Hope you enjoyed this post. If you are interested in more content like this, follow Superfit on Instagram, where I'll be posting the audio blogs of what I just read today as a viewable dynamic snippet that you can stream. All right, until next time.